What haven't I got on that I normally always wear cross country? And why have I not got it on? It was a bank holiday weekend. It took us 11 hours to get there.
And Tina falls off at fence 4.
Do you wanna come along with me? Come along with me. Do you wanna? And we ain't got nothing, gotta do something, get it right.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and to my, oh, you could look happy about this, Banksy, our riding journey, part 2. I'm pleased to say that a lot of you enjoyed part 1. So here we are starting off part 2, which will be 2016 onwards. And it seemed very relevant to start it this morning because on my memories on Facebook popped up that after our busy season in 2015, Banksy had a little bit of a holiday over the winter period and then was brought back into work on this day 5 years ago. 5 years ago? 17, 18, 19, 20. 5 years ago? That seems insane to say that. So yeah, pictures popped up on Facebook of his transformation from a woolly bear to a nice clipped competition pony again. I will admit, I think that was probably the only winter that he has had a full winter off with me, but it had been his first full season competing and he was still quite young, so it definitely did him good to be turned away and to have a bit of chill time. Although I will admit he's not really doing much at the moment, but are any of us? Yeah, I'm going to get started because I don't want this to be too long. I'm hoping it's going to be just 2016/17, or I'm planning for it to be 2016/17, but I know that we did a lot in 17, so if for any reason 16 turns out to have too many memories too, it might end up being a 4-part series as opposed to a 3-part series. But here goes. We'll see how we get on and see how much footage stroke memories I have from our second season really competing together. Like I say, I got him in 2014, but towards the end of the year didn't do too much until 15, where, as you'll have seen if you've already seen episode part 1, series 1. Yeah, you know. If you haven't, you might want to watch that one first. The link will be in the description below. But here goes with part 2 of Sir Banksy and I's earlier days together. Okay guys, I'm in my cozy clothes. I'm under my blanket and I'm on my sofa with my laptop, ready to reminisce again. But what I've just realised as I am scrolling through and looking at 2016 footage is that we had a very delayed start to our 2016 season due to injury, which I don't know how I forgot about, but Banks had the 6 weeks off over the winter just because I wanted to let him have some time off to mature and think about everything that he had learnt the year before. And I brought him back into work and then sadly he had an injury. But rather than dwell on that for a minute, whilst I was scrolling through and finding that footage, I actually found 3 more memories from 2015 that I didn't want to leave out. I can't believe I left them out to start with, to be honest with you. We have one that's good, we have one that's bad, and we have one that's pretty ugly. So I thought we'll just go back in time again, because why not? I just want to keep all this footage in one place and have it there for me in years to come. So I'm going to go back and show you because I didn't want to not include some more reality. And also a very happy memory with Emily. And yeah, also because, as I said, we had a very delayed start to our 2016 season. So let's just pretend this is like a bit of footage for January, February and March. Maybe we'll then just skip straight to April. Okay, so as I said, let's start with the good. This was where I showed the picture in the last vlog of Banks and Spritey as part of our team of 4. We actually did 2 rounds that day. We took Lola, well, we led Lola around the 90 pairs. So here we go. And I don't know how I didn't have this in the last vlog. I think I skipped by the end of season competition a little bit too fast because I was coming towards the end and it was nearing an hour long. Hence probably, like I said, going to make this one maybe make 4 parts, not 3. But here they are. about to go through the owl hole, I think. Oh, it was so much fun. The memories this brings back, especially when we get to the end in a minute, when you see a certain someone's lack of brakes just cracks me up. Look at Banksy's ears. Oh, he loves this jump. And Lola was absolutely epic that day. I can't remember if it was her first 90. I'm not sure. But as you can see, she's being rather strong. She was very much enjoying it too. And then in this class, you have to try and jump the last jump in sync. But we all know Banks likes to chip in, and Lola took a flyer. Oh, I love it. Oh, the memories. So, yeah, that was the good. This is the bad, although, looking here, it looks pretty good. I love how much more forward I rode him in 2015. Look, there was not a chance of chipping in. Really lovely forward rhythm. Basically, I was just going along with him, to be honest with you, but it worked. As you can see, my shoulders are not back at all. I'm just going along for the ride. And if my shoulders were back, then maybe what's about to happen would not have happened. But, you know, you live and you learn. Oosh. Apologies for the poor quality footage, but yeah. Somehow over the first part he took 2 poles with him. And then, bless his heart, they got tangled up in his legs. It's never Banksy's fault, by the way. If you're new here, you'll learn. It's never Banksy's fault. And yeah, I went over the jump and he didn't. And I took his bridle with me somehow. But current day Tina would go and cry in the car or the trailer. 2015 Tina jumps straight back on, and with the determination and drive, goes and finishes the round absolutely lovely. Lovely. You know what I mean. Good boy. Good boy. I was so concerned that it would have knocked his confidence. Because he is a sensitive chappy. But it didn't, he was a dude. Oh, we drifted right a bit then. I wish this was better quality, because it gives me more confidence watching this back and knowing, like, no, good boy.
Good boy.
Oh, I love him. Although I love him was not what I was saying here. Jackass is what I was calling him. He well and truly lived up to his nickname that day. This was the ugly, by the way. This was us trying to attempt a dressage test, and this was actually even before our first ever one-day event, so I don't know how I did not include this in the previous video. But he would not go near A. There were crows down there, as you can probably hear. And he was like, no, Mum, I am not going anywhere near that end of the arena. Thankfully, it was unaffiliated. And they gave me the time to try and get to A. I mean, to do a dressage test, you do need to be able to enter at A Banksy. And as you can see, it's probably like, what, 10 crows? It's really not that scary. But he was not having any of it. Again, I'm glad this is in 2015, because if it was now, I'd just get off and go back to the car, I think. Oh, I don't know. I guess until it happens again, you don't know. Not that I want it to happen again, but... Such a monkey. They say you look back to see how far you've come, but the thing is, I still wouldn't put him past him doing something like this again. Terror. I loved the comment from somebody watching saying, was it enter at medium gallop? Oh, we're going.
Oh, keep carrying on, Emily, now. Stay down that end.
We finally got down the centre line. Don't worry, I'm not going to play the whole test. It was disastrous. So it was only a few weeks into increasing his lordship's workload that unfortunately it had to stop. We were up at the indoor arena, one of the ones we used to hire at the time, and me, being a warrior, got off instantly because I was like, Emily, he doesn't feel right. He doesn't feel right. I'm sure he's lame, which, to be honest, I used to say quite a lot. Don't so much now, touch wood. But sadly he was. He'd had a stray nail, you know, when a nail just gets tapped ever so slightly in the wrong place by a previous farrier, and it had touched his white line. Obviously at the time I didn't know this, but him being Mr. Sensitive went absolutely hopping lame. It was like he had an abscess. We had no signs of abscesses, no nothing, couldn't tell it was to do with the stray nail to start with, and we had all sorts done. He had scans, he had x-rays, he had to be sedated to be lunged in this arena here because, not arena, this hardcore yard, because he was just an absolute fire-breathing dragon, because he was on box rest, because we had no idea what had made him so lame on his near side front. After lots of investigation, helped out thankfully by my lovely friends Emily and Lisa, because I had a few days trip away to Venice, it was determined that it was white line disease, and he had a very large chunk. I thought I had more photos than I have, but I've got the x-rays, I've got everything, but he had a very large chunk of hoof cut away from the wall, and as soon as that was gone, he was sound. I couldn't do anything with him because I obviously needed the hoof to grow back before he could be turned out or ridden or anything like that, because he stood a very high chance of it getting reinfected. But as soon as the bit that was white line disease was cut away, he was instantly sound, and the vets were so shocked at how a ponyo could be quite so dramatic from a very small amount. Although the cut away from the hoof looks like a large amount, it was purely just to ensure that it was gone and couldn't spread any further into the hoof wall. This is my limited knowledge of this, but yeah, how a horse could be so lame purely from that. It was a minuscule amount. He is dramatic. He turned into a fire-breathing dragon whilst he was on box rest. I absolutely detested him. I take that back. Detest is a strong word. I didn't detest him. He was just a terror, weren't you? An absolute terror. He wasn't his lovable, huggable, cuddly self, were you? One day I went to pass him his food over the door, literally opened the door like that. He barged past me. Dinks's little pen obviously was not there at the time. He did 3 strides, jumped the post and rail fencing, took the top rail with him, he didn't clear it, I will add, and proceeded to gallop around the field like a lunatic for a good 20 minutes solid. In his stable rug, thankfully he didn't roll, although at the time, obviously, that was the least of my worries, because I just wanted him to have a clean hoof and for it not to be infected. Yes, I told myself at the time, and again, I don't want to tempt fate by saying this, but Banksy is not a horse for box rest. If he ever has any sort of injury, I really don't want to say this, actually. I'm not even going to say it. Not saying it, because it will tempt fate. Let's move swiftly on to when I brought him back into work. And we started to, or shall we show a bit of what I got up to with Buddy? Depends how long I want this video to be. Oh, because I still had Buddy at the time. It meant Buddy got to have some fun whilst Banksy was off games. Let's insert a little bit just for my own memories. Yeah, let's include some of Budster just for my memories, and I'm sure some of you will enjoy watching it too. So as you know, if you watched the previous video, I actually got Banksy because Buddy went lame and was out of action due to hock arthritis. This is about 18 months after his treatment, and as you can see, he's absolutely loving life and back doing what he does, just what he does stroke love best, but just at a lower level. Didn't ever jump him any more than 80, 85 again, but there I was just getting him prepped because we had plans, so it was like role reversal. Buddy had to stand in for Banksy this time. We were going to Wales for a horsey hen weekend, and I think this is where the addiction to vlogging and filming whilst riding started. We had a selfie stick and we were filming ourselves jump. Yeah. Only little crossbows, I will add.
He was like, why are you trying to hit me on the head?
I wouldn't do that now either. Emily might. Emily's the queen of filming whilst riding. She's got better stick ability than me though, as you can see. I wanted to include this just because I found the old footage and it was fun, and I'll leave you just enjoy what's about to happen next. As you can tell, Em's on Sprite. I'm not sure she'd do this in a big open field on Lola. Oh, I wouldn't do it on Banksy either. Wait for the giggle. Oh, that was such a fun weekend. Anyway, what we were actually there for was to compete rather than just mess about. As you can see, Buds was wired. He was so glad to be there. He's such a cool horse. Again, really small. I think it was 75 this. But just about having fun, and fun he had. He did not want to listen to me at all. He just wanted to charge at the fences, basically. And yeah, pretty much let him. So it was a horsey hen weekend. Highly recommend going there for that, guys, if anybody's ever looking at doing that. David Broom's event centre in Wales. It was a right giggle. Oh, I hate pigs. Right, anyway, I think this is all the footage I've got, so fear not. We'll get back to Banksy and I's journey in a minute. Oh, look at him though, he's so handsome. Oh, more footage than I thought I had. He's such a dude. I think we're coming up to the final fence now.
Good boy. Woo!
Yay! Ooh, I didn't add in that, was in April, was also when I sold my trusty old Ivor Williams HB 511 and went on a road trip to collect my Equitrek, because I knew we would be doing more stay away shows with heading off to different BE venues. I invested and it was one of the best things I have ever bought. If it was one of the best things you've ever bought, Tina, why did you sell it, I hear you say? Well, can't tell you yet, but when I can, I will. All I can say is I'm waiting very patiently and it will 100%, 1,000,000,000% well be worth the wait. Okay, back to Banksy. So our first show would have not been until May that year. Obviously, it took a while to get him back fit and able to get out and about playing. We did do, obviously, some training, but I don't have any footage of that, so we will head straight to our first dressage on grass of 2016. So, because we knew we were going to be doing more BE during 2016, once our season finally started, dressage on grass was the most important thing to get plenty of practices underway. And we found this lovely local riding club that set up this fabulous arena. And we went and we practiced. I think we went about 6 times and it was brilliant. The only thing practicing at places like this doesn't give you is the full atmosphere of a BE and the actual competition vibe, which later on in this video you will see I needed more practice of, especially when you're doing a dressage test in the middle of a race course. But we'll get to that shortly. Here, he's looking good. I think some of the comments or on the post when I actually put it on Facebook that I have screen recorded this from was it looked a bit like the test was in fast forward because he was in such a hurry to get it over and done with. And the poor chap didn't even know at the time that there was no jumping phases to follow, but we did also get in some jumping practice, which I will lead on to now. Yes, because we had qualified for the Jump Cross Championships at Aston Le Walls, which was due to happen in June, we needed to get more jumping practice on grass too. So we went back to the venue that the year previously we had done the Working Hunter class at, but we didn't bother with showing this time. We went straight on into the 1 metre derby class. The year before we had done it, I think we'd had a pole and come 3rd. And this year I am pleased to report, thoroughly enjoyed himself. I think we have a woohoo over this one. Whee! And yeah, we came first. Absolutely buzzing. Loved it very much. I don't know how I remember my whole way around this, to be fair, but as you can see, he was loving it. I was loving it. And it's a great fun show and great fun class. Very good practice ahead of the jump cross that we were doing just a few weeks' time. The only thing we hadn't managed to do was get out on a course and do any cross-country schooling on grass. So this was like as close as it got to jumping any rustic type fences. I think there are, you can see behind this fence that there is the odd one, and there is a little wall and some stuff like this. So this was the only prep we really got ahead of going to the Riding Club Championships at Aston Le Walls. I'm sure lots of you will know that venue. We were super excited about going. Look, there we go. That's our cross-country prep for going there. We're the only downside of living in Cornwall, aside from having to drive so far to compete at championships and BE events, is that we don't have many venues where we can go and do cross-country, unfortunately. Oh, there was another rustic fence. Down through this treble, like a boss. Good pony. Flappy chicken arms, Tina, to head towards the last fence. A decent sized wall. Hey, good boy. First place. So this brought us to June, which is when we took the long road trip up to Aston Le Walls for the Jump Cross Championships. This was the aim that we had during 2015 when we attended there for the combined training champs, that we wanted to qualify and attend to compete on the cross-country course. So we did achieve that goal. However, unfortunately, due to poor preparation, I'll take the blame for that, it didn't go to plan. Although I did manage to get one of my favourite pictures of all time when there. I absolutely love this picture. But for those of you that have followed me and my cross-country journey over the years, you will note, if you can see, let me turn the camera around. Trying to show you this without getting a glare, but as amazing as this picture is, look, Festival of the Horse Championships 2016. You will note, for me, something is missing. What is missing? Can you tell what's missing? Comment below. You've got 5 seconds to tell me what's missing. Got gloves on, got boots on. What haven't I got on that I normally always wear cross country? And why have I not got it on? Oh, because at fence 4, it has already exploded and gone bang as I hit the deck. 11 hours. It was a bank holiday weekend. It took us 11 hours to get there. And Tina falls off at fence 4. Fence 4 on the cross country, I will add. We did complete the show jumping, but for some reason I don't have any footage. I only have me finishing the end of the cross country course. And again, it's screen recorded from Facebook. But I'm going to include it anyway because I'm quite proud of how positively we completed the course, considering we fell off at fence 4. Like I say, we didn't have the best build up to it. We didn't have any cross-country practice, so maybe I was asking too much from him. But as you can see here, he's absolutely storming round. Oh, and that's the jump that we've got the picture over, the steeplechase. I remember walking it and that looked huge. But yeah, look, he is full of running. It was just such a shame it happened. It was right near the warm-up arena, and I think he was distracted by the other horses. I wasn't pushing on enough and using enough leg, because as you can see, he's absolutely bossing this. But yeah, he just was all spooky and inattentive, and like bounced out from the fence, like did a run out, I guess, but more of like a bouncy rear to the side, about 3 strides out, which is not like him. Oh, see him spooking. That's the naked lady jump. Anybody that knows Aston, he was like, I'm not going near that, mum. Yes, there's a naked lady jump at Aston. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. We had more things positive to come. Yes, it took us 11 hours to get there, but I was still so proud of him. Technically eliminated Riding Club at the time we were allowed to carry on. Lots of big pats for the boy. And moving on to our first BE of the season. Oh no, this isn't the BE. This is some snaps from that day. That's the fence he had me off at, actually. And some more of the successful jumps. And my favourite one. Right, not our first BE, but our first one-day event of 2016. This was at Launceston. Lots of you that have followed the vlogs for a while will know Launceston features a lot because it is our most local BE. This wasn't a BE event though, it was Riding Club, and it was the qualifiers which led us to the championships at Swaycliffe. So I wanted to include this because this was prominent, because it was the first time we ever qualified to attend there, and we were super excited. But more about that shortly. Let's head to Chepstow to our first BE, which was on my birthday in 2016. July, or it was around my birthday, it wasn't the exact date. And as you can see, Banksy was extremely keen to be heading down that centre line. I have the whole test of this, which is why I'm including it, because it's such a special memory. No, I don't leave the arena, and no, we don't have any catastrophes like we have had before. In fact, I was quite proud of how well I contained his excitement. However, the judge didn't agree. And I think the comments were, he clearly knows what phases are coming next. As you can see, it was just like a rocket, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Like I said, I was quite proud that we did the right paces in the right places, and we stayed within the whiteboards. Yeah. Oh, Mum, just let me go. I want to gallop, not canter. We're on a race course, don't you know? When I entered this event, I will admit I did not know that the dressage test was in the middle of the bowl of the race circuit. However, it added to the impulsion. Not that I needed that, but it's fun to watch it back. We were both very tense. His legs look lovely and white though, don't they? It was a very hot day actually. I remember we had a barbecue outside the trailer afterwards. Oh, this was also the day, sorry, digressing from the test, but this was the day I left my suitcase at home. Nice walk, Banks. And my mummy had to drive from Cornwall. Look at that tail though. My mummy had to drive really early in the morning from Cornwall to Wales to bring me my... Are we going to explode in a minute? Do we canter in a minute? Yeah, to bring me my clothing, because I didn't have any of it, and we'd gone up the night before and stayed the night. I think we'll say he's against the hand and resisting the contact here. I have got the test sheet somewhere. I know the result, but I'll leave it to the end to tell you that. It wasn't good. Although it did beat our first ever BE test result. Just not by very much. Oh, canter time! Woohoo! Wrong leg. You have to laugh, guys. Oh, yay! We got the right lead this time. I should have just let that handbrake off a little bit more, but I was too scared to. My aim was purely to stay within the whiteboards. If you don't know what I mean, that means you haven't watched part 1 of this series and our first ever dressage test on grass. There's moments of niceness in this though, I think. Let me know if you agree with me. I will admit, I did think that the score would have been a tiny bit kinder than it was, but maybe that's just because I was so pleased and relieved that we survived it. I think we do a nice hold, do we? Yes, we do, look at that. Whew, thank goodness that's over. And on to the show jumping. It was in quick succession. I remember it being really quick. Change your saddles, put the boots on and get straight over to the show jumping warm-up. And then it took, as you can see, he's very excited about the prospect of jumping. And there was quite an atmosphere there. There was quite a lot of show trade stands and quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of pro riders at this event too. And yeah, he was keen. And it took a while for them to start me, so I was getting more and more nervous as we were going round. And then, of course, once they had started me, they did the whole reading out your score. And I will admit, sometimes I hear it, sometimes I don't, but this day I definitely did. Unfortunately. Definitely should have used the corner more here. Definitely should have gone deeper. Just didn't get this right at all. Oh. Which in turn led to not riding the double very well either, but thankfully Mr. Clever Clogs sorted his own feet out, thankfully. What a little superstar. Should have had a big pat there, really. But yeah, all in all, considering it was a bigger atmosphere than anywhere I'd ever ridden before, I was quite pleased with how that round went. And we went on to the cross-country feeling quite positive, I will admit. I really enjoyed riding their cross-country course. Here we are going out the start box. We'll admit was nervous because Kitty King had fallen off in the warm-up, which made me feel all a bit, I don't know if I do want to go now. I was looking forward to it. Awesome slow-mo footage over the first fence. And we were off.
But they're clear. Back
Love
into
what the
our view, in
commentator
fact,
says
and there
here
you
as
can
well.
see the skewbald heading towards the hay cart at 5. Pop over that hay cart, no problem at all.
If you are new
Home
here,
is Certain Hayon, written by Kaylee Slater.
please fear not. The quality of the footage isn't always like this. I'm just reminiscing and looking at old videos. Whilst we're not able to get out and about whilst in lockdown here in the UK. So this was a proper old school cross country course. Proper rustic fences, lots of hills. Remember quite a big tracana we were coming up to now on a downhill slope as well, which I was quite nervous about, but I needn't have been because he absolutely flew it. Hence my look of elation as we crossed the finish line. He was like, that was easy peasy, mum, and I was just ecstatic at having gone clear round that cross-country course. Probably only the 4th ever different course that we had ever tackled successfully. Now on to Sway Cliff we go. Now this makes me giggle because looking back at YouTube, this was the first, or one of the first ever video I uploaded to YouTube was my show jumping around at Chepstow, which you've just seen, but it's pretty much just raw footage, literally my show jumping around. But this next bit of footage that I'm going to include was the first ever edit that I uploaded to YouTube, and it was our dressage, show jumping and cross country from the Riding Club Championships at Swaycliffe. If you followed the channel for a while, you will know that our aim every year is to attend there, and for the last couple of years we have done in the 100. This was 2016 though. This year we attended in the 90, and it was amazing. It's run in 2-day format if it's the 90 event, which means you do your dressage and show jumping, I believe, on one day, and then the next day you do your roads, tracks and steeplechase. Whereas when you do the 3-day format, you do your dressage, well, you do it over 3 days obviously, but you do it in reverse order, cross country and show jumping. So you do dressage, then the next day roads, tracks, steeplechase and cross country, and then on the final day you do your show jumping. Back in 2016, as I just said, that's really not going to be helpful for editing, Puss. No, it's not. As I just said, yes, 2016 we did the 90, and I'm just going to put in the edit. I've screen recorded it from YouTube. I don't have it saved on my phone / hard drive anymore, so it's not the best quality, but nor has the rest of this video been. Is that comfy? But it's my first ever edit and upload 4.5 years ago. Can't say I'm proud of it, but we've all got to start somewhere, haven't we? So here you go. I might pop you in the odd bit of voiceover as well, but this is the footage I have from 2016 Riding Club Champs 90 with Banks, and my first ever YouTube upload. As you can see, nice. I wasn't worried about making it full screen then. This is in square format. Have always been nice and vocal out on the cross-country course though, with my good chappies. Quality of the show jumping, not great video. Oh, and this is also when I first did some promo work for Woofwear, all that time ago. Another big clever boy there, or well done, or big pats, and another shot of Banksy, another square dressage test. Oh, good stretch though, Boo Boo. Look at that stretch. He's like, oh, that grass looks yummy. Yes. Oh, it just brings back so much emotion watching any sort of footage from that cross-country course. Had 3 stonking clears around that course now. Whether it was at 90 or 100, I felt just as proud either time because it's such a challenging track. Yeah. And you could just hear him snorting the whole way round all the time. Bless his little heart. Oh, I miss that cross-country feeling. Oh, and a nice slow-mo for the final fence look. Look at his ears still, so keen. What a super ponyo. He sure does love his job. Oh, and here's some photo edits from our time up there. Look how young we look. Oh, and slim. And it was sunny. Oh, the sun. Right, back to real-time me. I'm really struggling with footage for this one, guys. I thought after successfully finding footage easily for 14 and 15, well, maybe not enough, but enough that I made a good enough video. I was quite pleased with how that video came out. This one I'm really struggling with, and I don't know why. Not much footage at all. So much so that I'm probably going to end it soon and focus on making 17 a really, really good one. I was going to include it in this, but I think it would be better to have it in its own separate part just because 17 was such an epic and memorable year for me that I really want to make that one pretty spectacular. Just for my own memories, I know that I've got, nearly said a rude word then, a lot of footage, a ton of footage from 17, and I don't want to, I want that one to be brilliant, so I'm gonna finish this one off just with a few more memories that I have. From our last 2 BEs, we did 3 in 2016. As I said before, 2015 was our first year doing a BE. 2016 we did 3. We did Chepstow, we did Treeborough, and we did Bricky. I don't like talking about Bricky, but in 2016 I did. 2016 we had a good year there. So here's some memories from our final 2 BEs of 2016, and then I am going to leave this vlog there because, yeah, I actually got injured myself towards the end of 16. I had a leg and ankle injury, so I didn't end up being able to ride much. Yeah, let's find what footage we have from those final 2 BEs, see whether anything exciting pops up, and if not, we will focus on getting started on editing 2017, because that one is going to be super good. I know it is. So this was Treeborough, and this was where we did our first ever BE the year before, and I remember being ecstatic seeing our names on the leaderboard, and I think we were lying in second for quite a while, obviously until the board filled up a bit more, and we finished in 5th on a double clear, so it was our first top 10 placing at BE. And I think it was about 3 weeks after that that we were off up to Bricky, and I remember when walking the course that me and Em were like, oh my goodness, fence 20 is massive. There's Banks before show jumping. I don't have any dressage photos or footage. I wonder why. Would you ever guess it was my least favourite phase? But a lovely show jumping photo and a few lovely cross-country photos and clearing that massive fence, no problem at all. And then another top 10 placing. That was our friend Jen, and I came 6th, or we came 6th, didn't we, Banks? Yay, clever pony. So that was a very pleasing way to end our BE season of 2016. 2 top 10 placings, a 32.5 and a 34, both double clear, which really gave us the bug for it and made us determined to get 2 more venues during 2017, which we do. But as I said, I'm going to save that for another vlog. I have remembered one final event we did in 2016, which I couldn't not share with you because it's what we used to always call our favourite event of the season. It's on our doorstep. It's at Chiverton Park, and it is the Jump Cross Qualifier, which is what I ended last vlog with as well. And also started this one with, where Lola and Banksy did pairs. We actually entered the 100, so we had a team competitively riding at 100 for the first time ever. Up until then, we had mainly only done 90s. I'd done 1 100 hunter trial, but no other 100 events, and not competitively and not as a team for our Cornwall Trek group riding club. So this was a qualifier. Unfortunately, we didn't qualify, but we did do well and we were chuffed with the results. So I will leave you with that bit of footage and I will over and out, guys. Do like, comment, subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry it probably isn't quite as good as the first one, but if you have enjoyed it, please do smash a big thumbs up. It does mean a lot to me and it makes it all worthwhile putting the time and effort into making the videos. Like I've said before, it's quite hard to be creative during lockdown and to know what to do and what to share with you. So I hope that you enjoy the whole chatty from the sofa kind of vlog, because I think there probably will be a lot more of them. What they'll be about, I don't really know. So if you've got any suggestions, do comment below and let me know. Give me some ideas, because it is tough at the minute, guys, if I'm honest, to keep creating content. I'm trying my best to be bubbly smiley, but I will admit it's not the easiest, especially when every now and again you get a negative or derogatory comment from people on the internet that don't know you and do like to criticise or put you down or try and make you feel like maybe you shouldn't be bothering. But I'm not going to let that get to me. I am going to keep bothering because I know the majority of you do enjoy it. Gonna love you and leave you now. Here's our final round. Again, I know I keep saying it. Apologies, the footage isn't great. If you are new here, it is normally better than this, I can guarantee. But this is old school footage and just me reminiscing and looking back on the earlier days of my journey with Banksy. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all staying at home. And I will see you all very soon. Bye from Puss Puss 2. He's just woken up. Oh, big stretch and a yawn. Puss, end the vlog for me. Say bye. Bye. Oh, he's going to come for a snuggle again. Say bye. Give them a purr. Oh, animals are so therapeutic, aren't they? Yes, you are. Right, here's Banksy's final round. Bye from me. I absolutely love watching this back because I think this is one of my proudest moments from 2016. It's always more daunting on home turf, I find. I'm much better if I go away and compete at further afield like Chepstow or Treeborough. But when you're on home turf and there's loads of people you know there, although it doesn't look like there's many people there at the minute, does it? They're all down this side. I always find it that bit more daunting. Like you're expected to do well. What I've learned from making this video, guys, is not to delete any footage ever again, because I know I had so much footage, but lots of it's gone. And the quality from screen recording really isn't very good. Unlucky with that pole, to be fair. Love competing at this venue, though. I haven't got any cross-country footage either, sadly. But I do have a couple of pictures. Nah, good boy. See his feet up high. Good knees. And the shadow on the wall. And his eyes closed. Oh. What a clever pony. Apologies if you can still hear Puss Puss purring. Over and out from us. Bye, guys.
Keep on doing what you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do.